Welcome to FOMO Consulting for your daily AMC stock analysis video on Friday, July 9th. Ladies and gentlemen, your eyes will deceive you. They want you to believe something is happening that is not actually occurring. And as always, the apes are winning, the diamond heads are winning, most importantly, the retail investors winning. So if you find this video informative and entertaining, please like, share, certainly comment, and most importantly, subscribe. It is a newer channel, and I would appreciate the support. Let's get into the video. Thank you to each and every one of you who has liked, shared, commented, and subscribed. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you very much. So let's start with a quote. Realize, realize, realize. Three very similar words, sound the same. Three distinct different meanings. I believe this is exactly what's going on with AMC stock. The price action does not match the narrative. There is a disconnect. It is psychological, and it is certainly what they are trying to accomplish. Precisely my point. AMC's foot traffic jumped as summer movie season kicked off. We know this week F9 absolutely had a fantastic showing over the last couple of weeks since it debuted. You have Black Widow coming out starting tonight. You have the UFC, a groundbreaking effort by AMC, but yet, as they so distinctly put it, the stock still declined. Barron's.com. The price action is not mirroring the enthusiasm and the overall sentiment of the stock, and that is precisely their game. They want your eyes to trick your brain. So let's look at the broader market. Overall, all four major indices had a fantastic recovery day, especially since yesterday was so bloody. S&P up yet again at 48 points. Dow up 448 points. Monstrous day. NASDAQ up 142, and Russell was up 48. And again, the Russell is very important, as you will see very shortly. Overall, crypto mixed, but overall not too terribly bad. Bitcoin up a bit. Doge is down just a bit, at least at the time of this recording. Ethereum, Litecoin, all up. So overall, not a bad day for crypto. Well done, German apes. Your day mirrored ours. You closed at 39.42 euros, down 2.95%. Overall, not a bad day considering, and your day certainly mirrored ours. So, talk about enthusiasm. Yesterday evening and after hours and pre-market this morning, there's certainly a lot of interest in the stock. There's certainly a lot of buying pressure. We almost got back over 50 just in pre-market alone, but of course, as their normal practice, they walked it down prior to the opening bell. But again, today's price action is a deception. So I've showed you the last several days where AMC stock has pretty well mirrored the Russell 2000, of which it's part of, right? So as the Russell today certainly recovered, AMC traded essentially flat, which means on lower volume, they certainly shorted it, kept it pinned. Obviously, Fridays have not historically been great days for us. A lot of options in play. We're along for the ride, but there certainly was a disconnect between GME and AMC and the broader Russell 2000 and the broader market. On a day like today with such recovery overall, we tend to have green days, but again, they are trying to make a disconnect and a deception in the price versus the value. We closed at $46.19, down $1.75, down 3.65%. Not the worst day. We certainly held our own. Obviously, there was a lot more play today, lower volume, and certainly a lot of shorting, up a bit after hours. Oh, but as you can see, again, we did not follow the Russell as we tend to each and every day, especially on the red days. Of recent, as I've showed you, we follow it pretty closely, but not today, of course. So again, I believe trade was on Charles Payne this afternoon, but always the headlines, Wall Street remains fixated on Reddit investor revolution because the only people who invest apparently are part of Reddit. So the overall market had lower volume. As you can see, we were not in the top 10, barely missed it. But overall, you look at Sundial, Apple, the traditional heavy players on volume, they were down as well. So again, it was just a lower volume day in general. But as always, we are the most popular, at least on week. So what I want to show you here is the red line is basically consistent with last Friday's close and just kind of the overall stair-stepping that they've tried to walk us down over the last trading week. This is the 5-minute chart. You can see earlier in the week, Tuesday, they tried to walk us down hard. We held our own. They obviously short attacked it first thing in the morning. Then we held our own. Then they short attacked it yesterday. We recovered quite well, and we pretty well traded flat and consolidated up until close today, as you can see. But overall, we're not too terribly far away from last Friday's closing, down a few dollars. But overall, it could have been far worse. But we have traveled a weary mile this week. To get back to that, we have fought off their short attacks heavily, as we all know. So as you can see on the 15-minute chart, we have been pressed down hard, heavy shorting, heavy selling on lower volume, which is not unexpected. Yesterday had a nice bounce, and today we essentially traded flat. On the 15-minute chart, you can see RSI is in that bounce region down in the 30s, and the MACD is starting a bullish crossover. On the 30-minute chart, you can see where we got priced down. We bounced yesterday, and overall, my anticipation is Monday will be green and we'll continue our upward recovery trend. If you look at the 2-minute chart, or excuse me, 2-hour chart, you can certainly see where they pressed us down. We have now recovered quite a bit from that perspective, and essentially today we traded overall flat. RSI is certainly neutral with a lot of room to run, and the MACD, as you can see, at least on this 2-hour chart, we're still in bullish area. My hope is that we will bounce off of that signal line and continue our upward move. As you can see, they pressed us way down on MACD. We have a lot of room to run to the upside if in fact we have a green Monday, Tuesday. So what we may be looking at here on the daily, I know that there's been a lot of focus on the pennant breaking down below that, but we may very well have overlooked the fact that this is a double bottom pattern. As you can see, we did close, even on a red candle, we closed above the candle from yesterday, which is very promising. I believe there is upward momentum in this stock, as you can see, and the RSI and MACD certainly have a lot of room to run. We are in the overall neutral area, and we just need that crossover and to start heading back north. And again, I believe Monday, Tuesday, depending on these FTDs and all this other stuff, we could very well have a very good Monday based on F9 continuing, certainly Black Widow and UFC, a lot of positive sentiment, a lot of hopefully positive media coverage around those efforts and those box office numbers. So overall, I'm looking forward to hopefully getting back to business on Monday. So again, bullish pennant. As you can see, we're trying to crawl back into that pennant on the daily. We may very well get back into it on Monday if we have a pretty good, healthy green day. And quite frankly, we may blast back through it. To the upside, we shall see. But as you can see, as I showed you, that even on a red candle today, we closed above yesterday's candle, at least on the closing side. So obviously, again, one more look at the daily, RSI, MACD, and certainly Alligator. He has now closed his mouth. Doesn't mean it's bad news yet, but he's certainly got his mouth closed at this point. Hopefully we can reopen it and start feeding him some more hedging. So GME had itself a pretty good day, as you can see. Had the normal sell-off like AMC, but it again was relatively disconnected, especially the second half of the trading day from the Russell movement. Overall, as you can see, it was heavily shorted back down to try to pin it, likely due to options expiring just like AMC, but overall, it did not move in line as it should have with the Russell and the broader market. As you can see, the IWM, which is directly tied as an ETF to the Russell, certainly did move in line with the Russell. And usually we do move along with it, but not today. We are still on the threshold security list as of last night. Last night's update, I have no reason to believe tonight's update will be any different. We'll see how this whole FTD thing plays out next week. Hopefully it will create a lot of bullish price action. We shall see. Another quick reminder, UFC groundbreaking effort by AMC and UFC to show live sporting events in the AMC Theater tomorrow, July 10th, in 95 US theaters. Grab a ticket, grab a beer, grab some popcorn. F9 again closed over 500 million in overall ticket sales. Absolutely phenomenal. Great for the box office, great for AMC, and again, the enthusiasm around the market, around the industry, and around AMC is there, but the price action of the stock certainly is not. And again, I believe that is all manipulation to do so. And Black Widow opens today. So grab a ticket. Should be absolutely phenomenal box office numbers over the weekend. A lot of media coverage. And again, think to yourself, when's the last time you've seen a report around the streaming service revenues competing with box office sales? I, for one, have not. So we are currently at 37 days via Ortex on the short positions. The average age at this point overall, that's about similar to yesterday's numbers. And as you can see, the short interest has continued to go upwards based on the short interest trend data. Speaking of shares on loan, we are close to 100 million currently. No surprise there. They've certainly used a lot to keep the price suppressed. Utilization is around 90%. Short interest did go up by 0.41% today to 19.05. So not only are they not covering, but they're doubling down. They borrowed 1.78 million, which was surprisingly low today. Based on the lower volume, but nonetheless returned 1.37 million. Volume was about 1/3 of what it was yesterday, close to at 56 million. There are 1 million shares available for borrowing according to Fintel. Take that with a grain of salt. And overall, nothing fundamentally has changed. So I claim a small victory regarding the options today. You could see pretty much through the last 10-15 minutes of the trading day, the bears tried to press the price down, get it down below $46 to put those puts in play. As you can see on the right side, we were not having it. We held the line. We were not going to let those expire in the money. However, there just wasn't a lot to fight for this week regarding the options chain, quite frankly. The $50 strike for the calls certainly has a decent amount of open interest, but as you can see, just not a lot to fight for. No huge numbers out there this week. Next week, however, things are getting interesting. You can see where there's a lot of volume around the $50 strike, certainly on the put side around 40 and 45. And then as the chain grows, you can certainly see a lot of options traded today at that 65, 70, 100, and certainly 145, as you can see. So we'll see how the options play out next week with a lot of bullish catalysts. Certainly, we believe to come with UFC and box office numbers and whatever else might come up with the FTDs. Certainly, options on the call side could certainly be in play. And as you can see, volumes on options today were much lower, about half of yesterday, quite frankly. Still very bullish, 1.6 to 1. But total volume was about 750,000, which was, again, about half of yesterday. Not a lot of huge trades today, but overall, the vast majority was bullish. Always fun to look at. Nothing fundamentally changed. We'll see how this plays out. Just always fun to look at. Nothing more, nothing less. End with a quote. I'd like to live like a poor man, only with lots of money. By Pablo Picasso, famous artist. That would be nice to have your normal life, right? Certainly have a lot of money in the bank based on a squeeze, based on AMC stock and other investments. Overall, fingers crossed, right? I believe I'm convicted in this play. Certainly not financial advice. However, I believe we are all committed as apes, as diamond hands retail investors to this overall movement. So I'd like to thank you all for watching as always. And if you found this video informative and entertaining, please like, share, certainly comment, and most importantly, subscribe. It is a newer channel and I would appreciate the support. But as always, I hope your life is full of green candles and you have a wonderful weekend. Talk to you soon.